Fired up Eala raring to strut stuff in Australian Open main draw debut. Manila, Philippines, confidence, vengeance and home court advantage. Those will be Eala's fuel for motivation as she plunges for the first time into the Australian Open main draw, which boasts the heftiest prize pool in history starting Monday at the Melbourne Park. Albeit thousands of miles away, the 20-year-old sensation is drawing inspiration and strength from a bevy of compatriots for what she considers as a home court edge in the land down under, which should serve handy in her much-awaited campaign against the sport titans. Aside from a historic main draw stint though, a hefty treasure chest also awaits Eala with a sure purse of $150,000, P$8.9 million, her third biggest since raking in $332,160, P$19.7 million, in the Miami Open semifinals. Then it gets bigger from there should the stars align for the Filipina bet with $225,000, P$13.3 million, $327,750, P$19.4 million, and $480,000, P$28.5 million, booked in the second, third and fourth rounds, respectively. This year's Australian Open offers the biggest prize pool ever with $111.5 million for the champion, up from $96.5 million last year. The runner-up gets to take home $2.150 million while the semi-finalists and quarter-finalists win $1.250 million and $750,000, respectively. It's been amazing. In this part of the world, there are a lot of Filipinos, but the turnout this year has grown significantly, I would say, from the past years, so I'm so happy to see this environment. She beamed during the AO's pre-tournament presser over the weekend. People are excited. When I'm on court, they're excited to see me. It's flattering and it makes me feel welcome for sure. Eala, slowly climbing the Women's Tennis Association, W, ranks at now career best number 49, has become a rock star in Oceania starting in her stint at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, and the Kooyong Classic in Melbourne last week. Name it. From online engagements that steadily reaches millions daily regardless of any content featuring Eala to packed game and practice venues, and to meet and greets, she is having it all so far. Eala made the final four of the Auckland tourney, her third WTA semis appearance, and was awarded the Yvonne Goolagong Collie Trophy in Kooyong as the 2026 exhibition champion following a 6-3, 6-4 mastery of Paris Olympics silver medalist and 2024 Wimbledon semifinalist Dana Vekic of Croatia. And that should be enough driving force for her all-time high confidence when she slugs it out with the fastest woman server, in WTA number 100 of Alicia Parks of the United States at 8 a.m. Monday, Manila time. It's definitely great for confidence, added Eala, former world junior number 2 and winner of the Australian Open girls doubles with Indonesian pal Priska Madeline Nugroho. Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here. It would be perfect timing for Eala, who earned direct entry as a top 50 player, to score her second main draw victory ever after the US Open after having been eliminated as early as the qualifying round in the past 3 years as a wild card. Although up against the grizzled Parks, who shares history with Venus Williams, 2007, netting the fastest serve for a female tennis player at 129 miles per hour in the 2021 US Open, it's go time in full force for the grateful lefty wunderkind. It feels great. I'm super excited. Coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So, I'm super excited coming here in full force, she vowed, also taking pride in the country's historic hosting of the Philippine Women's Open on January 26th to 31st with her availability as a wild card still depending on her AO campaign. I try to take it with a spoonful of gratitude. Not a lot of people get to experience being here in this lifetime. It's been a busy month, but there were so many blessings and memorable moments. My team has done well to arrive here in the best shape possible. Writing. Fired up Eala, raring to strut her stuff in Australian Open main draw debut. The Melbourne air crackles differently in January. It hums with heat, hope, and the low thunder of tennis balls meeting strings with intent. For Alex Eala, Walking through the gates of Melbourne Park for her Australian Open main draw debut feels like stepping into a living dream, one stitched together by years of early mornings, blistered hands, quiet sacrifices, and an unshakable belief that she belongs on this stage. She is fired up, and it shows. Eala's stride carries a rhythm learned not only from matches won, but from battles endured. There is a calm confidence in her eyes, the kind that doesn't shout but simmers, ready to boil over when the moment demands it. This is not the wide-eyed arrival of a tourist in tennis' grandest arenas. This is the entrance of a competitor who has imagined this moment countless times and now intends to make it hers. From promise to presence. For years, Eala's name has been spoken with anticipation. Junior Grand Slam titles, historic firsts for her country, and a steady rise through the professional ranks painted her as a player of promise. But Melbourne is where promise must transform into presence. The Australian Open has always been a proving ground. Its courts are unforgiving, its crowds knowledgeable, its matches often brutal in the sun. It is here where reputations are tested and new stories are written. For Eala, the main draw is not merely a reward, it is a challenge thrown down by the sport itself. She answers it with fire. Her game reflects her personality, measured, intelligent, yet capable of sudden bursts of aggression. She constructs points patiently, then strikes with intent, as if each shot carries a declaration. I'm here, and I'm not backing down. There is a maturity in her movement, a quiet efficiency that hints at the years spent honing her craft far from the brightest lights. Carrying more than a racket. Eala does not walk onto the court alone. She carries with her the weight and warmth of a nation watching, many of whom see themselves reflected in her journey. In every forehand winner and every hard-fought rally, there is pride stitched into her effort. She plays not just for personal glory, but for possibility, the idea that barriers can be crossed, and that dreams from tropical courts can bloom on hard courts half a world away. Yet she does not let expectation chain her. Instead, she wears it lightly, transforming pressure into fuel. The fire within her is not reckless. It is controlled, purposeful. She understands that the Australian Open main draw is not about proving she deserves to be there. Her presence already does that. It is about discovering how far she can go. The debut moment. The first steps onto the main draw court are electric. The sound of her name echoing over the loudspeakers sends a shiver down her spine, not of fear, but of recognition. This is the moment she trained for when no one was watching. This is the stage she visualized when matches were lost and lessons were learned the hard way. Across the net stands another professional, another dreamer, another fighter. But Eala's focus narrows. The noise fades. The court becomes familiar territory, a rectangle of opportunity. Every bounce of the ball steadies her breath. Every glance at the lines reminds her that tennis, at its core, remains beautifully simple. Point by point she settles in,